Hello everybody, it's Stephen Paul from WinExtra bringing you your daily brief of Microsoft news for April 28th, 2011. And I don't know, you got some pretty bad storms down in Alabama yesterday.
Yeah, they didn't really affect us down here. It's kind of, it was from Birmingham up, which is, it's a good drive away from here further on, and yeah, they got hit pretty hard.
Tuscaloosa got, and I wrote up a post on this over in Inquisitor late last night, where they got hit really bad. The tornadoes were like a mile wide.
Yeah, I heard somewhere this morning that 25 people lost their life, which is, of course, a terrible tragedy, and our hearts go to the families of those involved. But
well, I know I
got quite lucky down here. We got a bit of rain last night. That was it, really. It was like 85 degrees in rain last night.
We got hit bad this morning with a major thunderstorm, and we've got wind warnings out from Environment Canada, possible tornadoes, which is highly unusual for Ontario where we are. But they're out there, and I had to go downtown this morning, and it was like coming back home. It was like there was garbage cans all over the place, just wild, just wild. Anyway, our PSA from yesterday regarding Microsoft sending an alert for phishing scams. MCV has out this morning that Microsoft is insisting that there is no current Xbox Live problems.
Yeah, it's because yesterday when we announced that this phishing, Microsoft made this announcement about phishing scam on Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. And for anybody who knows the internet, phishing scam is basically social engineering scam, where they pretend they ask you for your password or whatever the case may be, and obviously somebody on Modern Warfare is doing that. But of course, when people wrote up the post yesterday, they immediately made it out as if this was the same sort of crap that was happening to the PlayStation Network, which of course actually got hacked. Big time. And people have lost private data, potentially credit card data, everything. But this is not what was happening. And Microsoft just went to pains to basically say, look, this is a phishing scam. These things happen everywhere on the internet. It's just that we know that people are trying to do it on Modern Warfare 2 at the moment. This isn't a network problem. This isn't anything like that. It's just basically people being dicks.
As a bit of a side note, there's also a bit of a rumor happening that the Amazon outage that happened last week, Amazon has come out and said that some of the data that got lost or whatever in the outage is unrecoverable. So somebody out there has lost some data, and there's also...
Well, you know what? The interesting thing about using C2, Amazon's CDN, Content Distribution Network, is as part of the policy, you're supposed to have your system designed so that you have a complete backup yourself, and so that your system will run if they go down. So really, anybody who lost information with that going down, that is because they didn't do what they were supposed to do, because they didn't look after stuff properly. Unless, of course, you're talking about stuff more specific to Amazon as opposed to...
Well, there was no real... but one of the scary things about this outage was that there was a company that provides a patient monitoring system for hospitals or doctors. They went down, and there were people that they could not be monitoring because
but you see... That's not... Well, okay, it's scary in the sense that the company went down, or that their stuff went down, but the problem here is not that Amazon went down. The problem here is that this company designed its system and was entirely reliant on Amazon When Amazon went down, they went down. And it was very interesting after that happened to have a look at all the sites that didn't go down, that were powered by Amazon, because they did things properly. Is it Netflix?
Yep.
Netflix, I believe, is powered by Amazon. They didn't go down.
You see, now they've got interesting things. Like I actually caught this out of the Buzz Out Loud videocast. They've got a program that they run constantly called Chaos Monkey.
Chaos Monkey.
Chaos Monkey.
What it does is Chaos Monkey randomly shuts down parts of their system just for no reason whatsoever, just to see whether or not the stuff will stay up.
Yes.
And they do. And they do this all the time. But the problem is the sites that go down weren't obviously didn't have their system designed properly, but B, weren't even following Amazon's guidelines for it. Their guidelines say that your system should be able to stay up if we go down, because you should have the appropriate backups and stuff in place. We do this for you, but do not be 100% reliant on us.
Exactly.
We may go down.
Yeah.
And this time they did, and as we said, there's actually somebody launched this site. I'll have to look it up and we'll put it in the show notes. But there was actually a site out there that kept track of the sites that didn't go down.
I can't remember.
That was really interesting.
Because they've got a hashtag for on Twitter. Anyway, we've got Microsoft. This just went out, some emails that are going out to developers regarding the live tiles in their apps. Microsoft is going to be hosting what they're calling a Mango event, which will feature wall of live tiles. This potentially could be happening during Tech Ed, but they want a big old wall of Windows live tiles to show off to the crowd. I think,
okay, so this is for Mix 11.
Yes.
Okay, now if you want to be involved in this, you need to reply to the email that they sent out by April 24th. And they need to receive their files by PDT. Basically, what I'm getting the impression of is, you threw this in the show notes, I didn't really get a chance to read it, but what I'm getting the impression of is that they're just going to do this big multimedia display, and they're asking all developers and partners to create their live tiles. They'll run all these live tiles, which will show off things like developer and partner logos and updates from them and all that sort of stuff. It's just another cool thing to make their presentation about Mango at Mix 11 rather cool. But, you know, Mango, there's still people out there waiting for Noda.
It was yesterday. There was a brief note somewhere. HTC, the one on AT&T, I think it is. They're still working on putting together a specific Nodo update for that handset because HTC went and did a bunch of stuff that wasn't planned for.
You see, this makes me laugh, because Microsoft apparently has the time to update OneNote for the iPhone. But we can't get our updates on Windows Phone.
That was out of PC World. They've issued an update for OneNote Mobile. Let's see, nothing really, I don't know what the update is, I don't use it, so, obviously.
Not really. Well, it's just basically it's just basically just a streamlining improvement update. No really major new features here, just streamlining that sort of stuff. But interesting to see that they have the time to do that and not get
someone who's going to have a lot of time apparently are 4,000
that is
Nokia
such a
workers.
bad segue.
Oh, I know. I'm sorry.
The people are going to have a lot of time on it.
I know. I'm sorry.
Talking about 4,000 Nokia employees losing their jobs.
I'm sorry.
See, the mean streak in the Canadian comes out, and people give out to me for giving out to him on the show.
Anyway, they're also transferring 3,000 Symbian jobs to Accenture.
Yeah, this is all part... actually, a lot of this is revolving around... Obviously, look, we've discussed how Nokia was basically becoming a stagnant pool of piss prior to the Microsoft deal, okay? They couldn't get anything done. Managers were, when they were on their summer vacation, nothing could get done. Decisions couldn't be made. Elop's job when he came in was to shake everything up and get them back to a company that could actually produce something, okay? I mean, they were like 2 years working on a phone and it never came out, right? So basically what's happening now is, yes, there's going to be a lot of cut-offs, but there's also going to be a lot of consolidation. A lot of their R&D is going to be consolidated, and they're basically putting everything in place so that they have... Each group has a instead of working on everything and being spread out, each group has a specific mission, a specific goal. This is what you're to achieve, and success or death for each group depends upon that.
No.
Unfortunate to see the 4,000 layoffs, but that was kind of expected and inevitable. Even if they didn't make the deal with Microsoft,
yeah, it was still inevitable.
This was inevitable once ELOP came in, because they had to do something to get.
Now we should also note that Nokia says that it employs a total of 130,951 people.
Yeah, so like the loss of 4,000 people isn't really a huge deal to Nokia. It's a huge deal to those 4,000 people. These 4,000 people are primarily going to be laid off between Finland, Denmark, and the UK. I didn't really see any sort of nobody from Nokia Siemens is getting laid off. By the looks of it, it's all just Nokia Core.
Yeah.
Of course, Nokia Siemens makes up 66,000 of those employees.
Yeah. Nokia employs 12,000 people in Finland alone, and out of Finland.
Yeah, so they're losing 1,400 from Finland, so that's going to be a big hit to Nokia Finland. That's a tenth of their workforce, nearly.
Yeah. We know today is a big...
bad math, it's an 8.
Yeah. Today's a big day, well, not really, but it's an important day as far as Microsoft news, in that it's earnings call day.
Earnings call day for this quarter, for the past quarter. That's going to be interesting. A couple of analysts out there are saying, okay, look, Microsoft isn't going to do as well as everybody expected, because PC sales have essentially slowed down. Even though Microsoft's kind of stock went up marginally based on Intel announcements, and things are looking good for Microsoft based on Intel announcements. The only problem is that Intel is pushing into markets like China and that sort of stuff, where even though Microsoft has a massive operating system presence,
most of it's pirated.
Off it, right? But PC sales are down slightly, but then again, saying PC sales is down is kind of a misnomer, because generally, even if you're to lump tablets and everything in like that, sales across the board in that respect are down. So obviously, operating system sales are
obviously
a direct consequence. However, Microsoft is still expected to announce record earnings yet again.
Yes.
Record profits, 4.7 billion profit. Based on over 15 billion net. So this is going to be yet another big day. And of course, even with those kind of profits, Microsoft's stock won't move.
No, it won't.
Reason whatsoever.
Bing Maps, for those that use it, I know it's not one of the most popular mapping ones out there, they've got a project that they're calling Global Ortho Project. And Quentin Hardy from Forbes has some pretty nice things to say about it. But
I don't get this. I'm reading this. This just comes across as, first off, a non-global mapping project. What they're going to do is they're going to map in basically what sounds like high definition to me, the continental United States and a couple of Western European countries. 17 Western European countries. Basically what they've done is they've set up an aircraft that will fly at 17,000 feet. It's got a number of PCs on board that is hooked up to a 220... up to cameras that are shooting at 220 megapixels every 2 seconds, and they fly that up and down across the countries at 8-kilometer distances, and this becomes part of the mapping project.
Yeah.
How is this global, and how is this really... Okay, maybe it'll be awesome to have these really, really high-definition photographs, which, I hope they then dump into something awesome. Because Microsoft has a big involvement, don't they, in the Open Maps project?
I think
they have
so.
an involvement with that?
I think so.
It would be nice to see the information dumped into that.
Yeah.
Of course, if you want more information on this, I think you might want to go drop by the Channel 9 article.
Yeah.
Ultracam, which we will put in the show notes, and it'll really get into it. But you know what? This is one of those things that really serves very little purpose except to create high-definition photographs, but it's a cool little side project.
Yeah.
Is Microsoft paying for the plane? Is there anybody else involved in this, or is it just them?
I think it's just them, and it's a number of planes mounted in several planes.
Well, it would have to be. They couldn't have just one plane going.
I don't know. All I know is that the story has is they've got several planes and that are loaded with 13 PCs each for image processing.
Well, okay, if anybody out there knows anything more about this, would like to fill us in on exactly why Microsoft is doing this or what they intend to do with the data, podcast at WinExtra.com or 251-281-8730 for your texts or voicemails. We would love to know.
Yeah. The last story of the day is it's everybody likes to compare how companies handle crisis, crisis management. And this story from over at ZDNet seems more of just like, a make post.
This is kind of one of those stupid comparisons. They're basically saying, okay, the title is Apple versus Microsoft. Which company has the best response to problems? However, they're comparing two very different types of problems. They're comparing Apple and the whole, your iPhone is keeping track of everything that you do problem with Microsoft and the whole being unable to roll out Nodo. Now, we've seen how Apple handled, Antenna Gate not very well. We've seen how they've handled this, which is basically they've come out and said, nope, it's not us.
Yeah.
First off, Jobs said, no, we're not doing that. The information that is out there is not real. Is not correct. Prior to that, Apple said absolutely nothing. And now they're coming out and saying, oh no, it's a bug.
Yeah. Yeah.
Microsoft, on the other hand, are just dicking around.
Thank you for saying that nicely.
Yeah, that's not the word that was going to come out of
I know.
We try to keep somewhat to a family-friendly rating here, even though I don't manage to do it very often. But I know, I mean, these aren't two things that you can make an honest comparison about, but in honesty, I mean, Apple sort of generally handles things by denying it, deny until we're backed into a corner, and then come out and say, oh, this is actually what we meant to do, or that was a bug. And Microsoft just kind of, I don't know, Microsoft, it depends on the day, but invariably they get it wrong.
Yeah.
And with this whole sort of Nodo stuff and the updates and all that sort of stuff, basically what Microsoft has been doing is, how best can we say that it's not our fault, give an indefinite answer,
and not piss off the carriers,
and try to insinuate that the fault is with the carriers without specifically saying so.
Yeah.
Instead of just having the cojones to come out and say, look, it's not us, it's the carriers.
Yeah. Okay, if you have any thoughts on any of the stuff we talked about today, please drop us a line at podcast@winextra.com or comment on wherever you are watching this show or listening to it. And then, if that doesn't do it for you, drop us a voicemail at 251-281-8730, and it will also take text messages, and we will get them back to you online. I mean, on air, whatever.
You try too hard at saying that part. But yeah, folks, 251-281-8730. Text or voicemail. It's open 24 hours a day, and as Stephen was attempting to say there, we'll play them back in the show as soon as we get them.
So on that note, folks, we're out of here. Storm and all. We'll see you tomorrow for Friday's edition. Bye-bye.